गुणागुणज्ञेषु गुणा भवन्ति ते निर्गुणं प्राप्य भवन्ति दोषाः सुस्वादुतो याः प्रवहन्ति नद्यः समुद्रमासाद्य भवन्त्यपेयाः.
Today we are going to sit with one of the most quietly devastating verses in all of Sanskrit wisdom literature. It comes from the Hitopadesha and it goes like this. Gunah gunagyeshu gunah bhavanti te nirgunam prapya bhavanti doshah susvadutoyah pravahanti nadyah samudram asadya bhavanti apeyah. Listen to what it says. Virtues remain virtues only among those who know virtue. Those very same virtues, when they reach a person who has none, turn into faults. And then the image that makes it unforgettable. Rivers flow with sweet, delicious water, but the moment they reach the ocean, that same water becomes undrinkable. Let us take the words slowly. Gunah means virtues, good qualities. And here is a beautiful thing. The word guna originally meant a strand of a rope. Your qualities are strands woven into your character. Gunagyeshu means among the knowers of virtue, from the root gya, to know. So, gunah gunagyeshu gunah bhavanti. Virtues among those who can recognize virtue remain virtues. Then comes the turn. Te, those very same qualities, nirgunam prapya, upon reaching someone devoid of virtue, bhavanti dosha, they become false. The word dosha comes from the root dush, to spoil, to corrupt. Then the second half paints the picture. Susvadutoyah, waters that are wonderfully sweet. Pravahanti nadyah, the rivers flow onward. The word nade comes from the root nad, to roar. So a river is literally the sounding one, the singing one. Samudram asadya, upon reaching the ocean, and Samudra itself means the gathering place of all waters. Bhavanti Apeya, they become undrinkable. Not just unpleasant, Apeya is a word of prohibition, not to be drunk at all. Now notice what the grammar itself is teaching. The verse says gunah twice and then suddenly dosha. The subject never changed, the virtues never changed, only the location changed. Nothing was wrong with the river, nothing was wrong with the water. The problem was the destination. This verse comes from the Hitopadesha, a book of practical wisdom composed by the scholar Narayana Pandita somewhere around the 9th to 12th century as a retelling of the older Panchatantra. In its frame story, a sage named Vishnusharman teaches worldly wisdom to princes who have gone astray. And this particular verse sits in the first book called Mitra Labha, the winning of friends, in the teaching about association. Whom should you serve? Whom should you befriend? Where should you place your talents? The verse gives a sobering answer. Merit alone is not enough. Merit is only half the transaction. The other half is the receiver. Now decode the metaphor piece by piece. The river is you, the person of virtue. Notice the river is moving, pravahanti, flowing. Virtue must flow. Hoarded virtue nourishes no one. The sweet water is your qualities in their natural state, your honesty, your creativity, your kindness. And the ocean? The ocean is the person or the workplace or the relationship that cannot receive. And here is the sting hidden in the image. The ocean is bigger than the river. The unworthy recipient may be richer, more powerful, more established than you. Size is not worthiness. And the deepest detail of all is the salt. The ocean does not refuse the river. It never says no. It takes everything the river gives and dissolves it into its own saltiness. That is exactly how it happens in life. The person without virtue does not reject your gifts. They absorb them and rename them. Your confidence becomes, in their mouth, arrogance. Your honesty becomes harshness. Your generosity becomes foolishness, a weakness to exploit. The water still exists inside the ocean, but it can no longer do what water is meant to do. Modern psychology has caught up with this verse. Researchers speak of person-environment fit. The same talented person flourishes in one culture and burns out in another. They speak of hostile attribution bias, the tendency of insecure minds to systematically read virtues as threats. Even chemistry agrees. When river water enters the sea, nothing is destroyed. It is simply diluted into a solution dominated by salt. About 3.5% salinity is enough to ruin all the sweetness of a mighty river. A small persistent negativity in an environment can corrupt an enormous inflow of good. Other traditions saw it too. In the Sermon on the Mount, do not cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them and turn and tear you to pieces. Notice the same two steps. The gift is wasted and then it is turned against the giver. But there is one more teaching hidden in what the verse does not say. A river has no choice. Gravity drags every river to the sea. You are not a river. You can choose where you flow. So let me leave you with 3 questions to carry through your day. First, where are my rivers flowing right now? Into which people and places am I pouring my best qualities, and can those places actually hold them? Second, where in my life have my virtues been renamed as faults, and is that truly feedback about me, or is it the salt of the receiver? And third, the hardest one, am I a knower of virtue for others? When someone brings me their sweet water, their idea, their enthusiasm, their trust, do I preserve it, or does my own fullness, my own cynicism turn it undrinkable? And one small practice for today. Before you offer your effort, your advice, or your excellence anywhere, pause for a single breath and ask the question this verse asks. Not, is my water sweet? You have already worked on that. Ask instead, can this vessel hold it? Give fully where the answer is yes. And once this week, deliberately be the Gunagya for someone else. Catch one real virtue in a person near you and name it to them out loud. That is how you keep your own waters low in salt. Gunaha gunagyeshu gunaha bhavanti. Virtues remain virtues among those who know virtue. May you flow wisely.
गुणागुणज्ञेषु गुणा भवन्ति ते निर्गुणं प्राप्य भवन्ति दोषाः सुस्वादुतो याः प्रवहन्ति नद्यः समुद्रमासाद्य भवन्त्यपेयाः